Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne and today I'm going to share with y'all how I make my tri-tip. And we're going to be smoking our tri-tip. Now this was a full backyard barbecue that we had, and I did some campfire potatoes, and in my previous video I did the campfire potatoes you see right there, and so I'll have that link in the description box below as to how I did that. But today we're going to finish working on our meal. We're working on our tri-tip. Now the tri-tip I'm smoking today for the family is about 2.5 pound tri-tip. And so what I do is when I get my tri-tip, I rinse it off in cold water, and then I let to pat it dry with paper towels, as you were seeing me do there. So once I've done that, then we're going to go on and do some seasoning, and I put my seasoning all together in a bowl. The seasoning that I like to mix together for my tri-tip is some Lawry seasoning salt, and we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of the Lawry seasoning salt. And then also, in addition to that, we're also going to use some of this Montreal steak seasoning. I really like that because it's got a lot of those little herbs and spices in there, and so we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of that as well. And then also kosher salt, and so we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of this coarse kosher salt as well. And I just put them all together in the bowl, and then I mix those together really good, just like I'm doing there. And now if you are doing more tri-tip, you can always double the seasoning recipe if you're doing more than 1 tri-tip, or if you want a little bit more aggressive seasoning on yours. But I have found that the teaspoon of each of those is a really nice combination. And so since we patted dry our tri-tip, our seasoning is going to adhere really nicely. And so just go on and sprinkle some on, just like I'm doing there, and make sure that you also get the sides of your tri-tip as well. Now we're going to be putting our tri-tip in the smoker, and when it comes to smoking your tri-tip, or really any meat, you want to always go off of the temperature and not necessarily the time. You can use the time as a gauge, but typically we really want to use the temperature. And so I'm going to be cooking our tri-tip at to medium well. We like ours a little bit more medium well, so if you like yours medium rare or medium or well done, you can go on and just base it off your temperature, okay? And when I say temperature, I'm referring to the temperature of your meat. The internal temperature of your meat will let you know if it's a medium or a medium well, or if it's medium rare, depending on what your taste is. So our smoker is set to 250 degrees. So our meat has been cooking, our tri-tip has been cooking for about 45 minutes now, and after 45 minutes I go on and I flip it. I also kind of feel on it to see how firm the meat is starting to become. Our tri-tip is looking really good. It's smoking up nicely, and again my smoker is at that 250 degrees. So I'm going to go on and put the top back down. I'm going to come back in about 30 minutes to check it. So it's been about 30 minutes now, and so our tri-tip has been cooking for about 1 hour and 15 minutes now. And so I'm going to put my meat thermometer in that's attached to my smoker. I'm going to put the meat thermometer in, and it's going to let me know what my what's the internal temperature is registering at. My internal temperature is registering at 143 degrees. At 145 is the spot that I was looking for. 143 was perfect. We take it off. I covered it with foil, and I let it sit in my pan covered in foil for about 15 minutes before we go on and we slice it. So now I'm slicing some nice pieces of tri-tip up for the family. It is cutting so nicely. And so also when you go to slice your meat, I look to see which way the grain was going. And so the way the grain was going, then what you do is you cut your meat across that. So that way we go over that grain, and that's going to make a nice tender cut when you're cutting your meat. And it is looking so good, and it has just smoked up so nicely, y'all. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome in. If you're a returner, welcome back. And I enjoy sharing with all of y'all what I like to cook and bake and grill up and smoke in my home and in my kitchen for my family. I enjoy sharing it with all of y'all. And so I invite you to hit that subscribe button and become one of my awesome subscribers. Now, once we have our meat all nice and cut up, we're gonna go on and put our plate together, y'all. We've got those campfire potatoes, and in the description box below, I'll put a list of the ingredients that I used for my seasoning blend for the tri-tip, and I'll also put the guide that I like to use when I'm smoking my tri-tip. And so this is our tri-tip. It is looking so good. The family is ready. I've got our campfire potatoes on the grill. Those are almost ready. I've got our corn on the cob. It's also on the grill. That is coming along nicely. I'm going to go on and whip us up a salad. So I've got some nice romaine lettuce. I've got these tomatoes from my garden, y'all. And this cucumber also came from my garden. I love to garden, and a lot of you will see in my my opening, that's my garden. I did bell peppers one year. And so I'm going to go on and slice up our cucumbers that I had from the garden, and also our tomatoes as well. And both my grandmothers had gardens, and they grew greens and sweet potatoes and string beans and you name it, tomatoes, peas. They had some of everything in their garden. And my dad's side of the family, they actually had a farm. They had livestock and chickens and cows, and they had crops of corn, and they had a smokehouse on the farm, and they would smoke meats. And it was just something that they did as a family, the gardening and the farming and the smoking of the meats. And so I think that has definitely carried on through to me. Well, this is our beautiful salad, y'all. Let's go on and get our plate ready. I've got our corn that we have grilled up. I have those campfire potatoes right there. And remember, in that description box below, I will have the link to the campfire potatoes. You do not want to miss out on those. Those are so good. And then we've got our salad we're going to put here. We're going to go on and serve us up some of our wonderful tri-tip that we have smoked up on our grill today. Our backyard barbecue has come together so nicely. And for dessert, I made my no-bake banana split pie. It is so good, and I will put the link to that in the description box below. I made that a couple weeks ago, and I showed y'all how to do that. Well, this is our wonderful meal for today. Let me go on and get your bite ready. This bite right here, this is for you. I've got some tri-tip on there. Our campfire potatoes. It's looking so good. Go ahead and take your bite. Okay, I'm gonna go on and have my bite. Y'all, this is so good. The tri-tip is nice and tender, well seasoned. The potatoes are nice and seasoned. Well, that is it for me today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me today in my kitchen while I was making my backyard barbecue for the family. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, show this video some love, give it a thumbs up, and click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.